Well, first of all, just a big thank you to our crowd tonight. Haley, I didn't have to get those buses. They ended up showing up, right? So Hoosier Nation showed up in a big kind of way for us tonight, and we're so grateful that once again. The energy that was in the building was incredible. I think these guys could speak to it as well. But, a great night for us, for women's basketball, for our program. I thought the mariachi band was terrific. They got us started in the right kind of way for the night. And so great win for us. It was a battle of two really good basketball teams, and we knew it was going to be a 40-minute fight. It was just that we had an incredible third quarter. We went into halftime. We did make some adjustments defensively, putting Yarden on Cody McMahon, who was so terrific in the first half. And I thought Yarden came in and did a great job. But we were pretty special there in the third, 21 assists on 28 makes. That's a good night for us. Balanced scoring. With Mac and Yarden, and then Sid getting a double-double. Grace Berger. I thought we handled ourselves in the press very well. We were ready for that. We wanted to be aggressive, but yet poised. And I thought that we did both of those things really well. So, a great matchup between two really good teams, and I'm really proud of our guys for how they handled themselves and got us to the finish line.
All right, questions for our student athletes, Mackenzie Holmes and Yarden Gearzon. Haley, go ahead and mic, please.
Mackenzie, you played in a lot of these high-stakes Big Ten games. Where does this victory rank in all of those games that you played?
I don't think that we, take any opponent differently than the other, especially in Big Ten play, knowing that everybody we face night in and night out is going to be a tough competition. So I think, this is a great win for us. Ohio State's a very good basketball team. They're going to win a lot of games down the stretch. So it was really crucial that we got this win tonight.
Yeah, Mackenzie, I just want to get your thoughts. Two things. First of all, two games now over 10,000. First of all, your thoughts on just not just the crowds, but the overall support that is growing for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, Hoosier Nation keeps showing up for us night in and night out, and it's so special because, not only are they showing up, but they're giving us energy. They're giving us momentum. They're like an extra teammate out on the court. There's times when Ohio State couldn't even hear their play calls because the screams and the cheers were just so deafening, and you couldn't even hear whistles blown sometimes. So they showed up for us in a huge way, and I'm so thankful that they continue to show up for us.
And then the second part of that is you guys look like, resume and how you play, legit Final Four contender, legit national title contender. Just what do you guys think, and is that fair to say, looking at how you're playing and what you've done?
Well, as Coach Morin has said, it's just one step at a time. So not looking too far ahead, taking it one game, one opponent at a time.
Tyler, go ahead.
Yarden, I know Coach Morin has talked about just your competitiveness. Is that something you've always had? Is that something you've had to develop? I guess just where did that competitiveness come from?
I think it's something I always had. It's part of me, like to be competitive, especially on basketball. Especially basketball-wise, I love to be on the court. I love to play for my teammates. I love to play for my club, my university, and for my coaches. So it's a big part of it.
Will?
Yarden, shots weren't really falling for anyone outside. You hit that corner three in the third to get that run going. Was it just a little adjustment to the crowd, or was it just some sort of way to see one in, or what was it that really propelled that run?
I think when someone hit a shot, so everyone get excited, and the crowd push us, and everyone get into it. So sometimes it helps a lot. But I think we are confident about ourselves. Everyone working really hard about their shooting ability. And we know that if one is out, so we keep shooting the next one. And the coaches really believe in us. So I think we just keep shooting. We took great shots, so we're good with that.
Got a question right here, second row.
Mackenzie, the OSU head coach just talked about how the atmosphere every time they've come here has just gotten bigger and bigger. As somebody that's a veteran in this program, how have you kind of seen from your perspective the atmosphere of this program just kind of build itself to what it is now?
Yeah, it's been incredible, but you have to give credit to, to those who came before. So, Allie Patberg, Brenna Wise, Alexa Golbe, Kiana Worthen, all those people who really started to help change the culture here, and those pioneers that came before us and helped, kind of grow the love for women's basketball here. So I'm really thankful that we got these crowds, but, it wouldn't happen without those people who came before.
Mackenzie, you look at what Yarden did in the third quarter, and from a veteran teammate standpoint, watching a freshman, what were you most impressed with in terms of just, after shaking off a tough first half, you would have never known it watching that third quarter?
Yeah, I think, Yarden got challenged in that second half, being put on, their Cody McMahon, and she stepped up to the challenge, and she made plays and knocked down shots, and I think it just shows her level of maturity is unlike anything I've ever seen from a freshman, and not even from a freshman, from any basketball player. She just has this knack for stepping up in big moments, and that's not really something you can teach. I think it just goes to show how special she is.
Any other questions for our student athletes? All right, ladies.
Great job.
Thank you.
Good job. Good job. Great job, Yana. No, I mean with doing this, not playing.
Yeah.
Right, you guys definitely not playing.
Raise your hand. Zach right here.
Terry, you talked about the third quarter, but I think even in the fourth, Ohio State had a couple mini runs there, and it felt like it was your most experienced players. Grace had a three. I think Mackenzie had a couple and ones that just kind of answered those moments when it felt like Ohio State was trying to push back in. Mm-hmm. How important is maybe that veteran sort of experience and that poise in a game like this where there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of passion, to just be able to sort of take yourself out of that moment and just slow things down and make those plays?
Right. It's critical, to have the Gracebergers out there and the Chloes they're all, except for Yarden, although she's as cool as they come and as poised as they come. But just to have Grace's leadership and Chloe, the time that she spent at the point when Grace was out, has been critical in how she has improved, but also her confidence. And then, you throw Sid into there, again, another veteran kid that's played in big-time moments. Just the composure, the poise, especially against the press. We wanted to be aggressive. We wanted to show poise. Like I said, we did both of those two things. But, especially in the fourth, we knew they were not going to go away quietly. We anticipated the press coming back out and being, as aggressive, or maybe more aggressive, because there was a deficit that they were trying to, get back into the game. And so we really just challenged our kids to keep doing what they were doing, and that was meet their passes and be strong, with their passes and get it across the timeline. If we had a layup, we were going to take a layup. If we didn't, we were going to run offense. And that's the maturity of this group. I keep talking about it, but and there's a maturity level to this group that in those types of games, when it's tight, they understand flow, they understand rhythm, they understand sort of what's needed in a lot of those moments. And so, just give our guys credit for their cool, calm, demeanor tonight when Ohio State tried to make a run there in the fourth.
Coach, congratulations on the big win. 12 turnovers tonight against the third best team in the country for forcing turnovers. Of course, you were just talking a little bit about breaking the press. Chloe and Grace, talk about their specific leadership in making that happen. And
well, it's not a secret, that they were going to come in and impress us. We knew that. Our kids pay attention. It's not like Ohio State just started pressing. I mean, they've been a pressing team. So we knew that was going to be, the key. The number one key to our scouting report was, no live ball turnovers and, take care of the ball against their press. And there's intentionally, placement of where Grace is and Chloe. And I thought Sid did a great job. We had to have movement on the backside or in the backcourt with Mac and Yarden. But then once you get it, that press can either, they can either turn you over or it speeds you up. And that's where I thought we took what the defense gave us. If we had the runouts, if we had the layups, we took advantage of those moments. And if we didn't, we were wise enough to center it and run offense. And so, as I said, just, give our guards credit. But, Grace and the thing I love about Grace and Chloe in particular is that there's a lot of speed behind their passes. They're not, they make great decisions, but, that ball moves fast when it comes out of their hands.
There was a lot of hype going into this game, up until this week, and I'd imagine those conversations were heard within your staff and in the locker room. Was today kind of the way you envisioned it going, both with the atmosphere and just how you guys played on the court?
Well, to answer the question about the atmosphere, we were curious in an 8:30 game, what the crowd was going to look like, and trust me, they exceeded my expectations, which is, the answer to one of your questions. But we've really just tried to. And again, I know you guys, this is coach speak, and you guys get tired of me saying it, but we take one game at a time. And as we talked about, with our group, there's not one game that's bigger than the other. They're all big. If you're chasing something the way we're chasing something, you can't overlook, and you can't obviously make the moment bigger than what it is. And I said to them that for us, one, the most disciplined team's going to win this game tonight, but also we knew the recipe. And we just had to be dialed in and focused to what the recipe was, and we had to execute it on both sides. And there were moments where maybe we didn't meet that, but for the majority of the game, I thought we did a terrific job of understanding the scouting report and doing what was needed.
Yeah, Coach, you guys 6 wins, I believe it is now, over top 25 teams. Double-digit win over number 2, double-digit win over number 6. Mm-hmm. What are we looking at as far as how well this team is playing, what they're achieving, and what their potential could be?
Well, I think the potential's there. We've seen it, but I also know that this can be a funny game, right? And if you're not ready night in and night out, you're always in jeopardy of coming up short. And as I mentioned, we try to really be careful with just sort of keeping our heads down and keeping the noise out, and just talking about what's next. And as long as we can focus on what's next and not look ahead, which we don't allow ourselves to do that. I think the potential is certainly there, but give our kids credit, because at the end of the day, they have taken our scouting reports, they've taken great coaching, we challenge them every day. They haven't become complacent. They're grateful for the opportunities, day in and day out. And again, who knows, right? But we're not going to put a number on anything, because we're not going to limit this team as we move forward.
Coach, what went into the decision to put Yarden on McMahon in the second half? And I guess was there a conversation you had with her of basically you have to step up and take this challenge, or kind of how did that unfold?
Well, Sid started off on her, and Sid was struggled a little bit. She got into foul trouble. We knew what Cody wanted to do, and now she's very right-hand dominant. With if she's going to stop, she's going to spin back to her left. We didn't do a good enough job in the first half of trying to negate that spin, but Grace got in there one time, I think, in the second half and got her to travel. It was just we needed to challenge somebody else, and Yarden is. so good when it comes to specific, like you've got to be able to do this for us. You got to be able to take away a right hand in the second half, and and she did. So it was just more of a we got to change that matchup. Who do we think gives us the best chance at being able to minimize her having such a great night? And I thought Yarden, like I said, she took that challenge and did a fantastic job.
Coach, right here. Let's talk about the state of the Big Ten. Commissioner Warren moving on. A few years ago, he made the decision to hire Megan, emphasis on women's basketball.
Right.
I mean, this media room's packed. It wasn't even this much last year at the
Right.
at the games here. But what do you say to the Big Ten and just the emphasis on women's basketball now in the Big Ten?
Well, first of all, I'm sad that Kevin is departing the Big Ten, but I'm happy for him because he'll kill it. I think I can speak for women's basketball, all of my colleagues, when just the commitment that he had to women's basketball. He showed that by hiring, Megan Kahn. They've done a terrific job. Now, there's going to be somebody that's going to be in charge of the Big Ten, and hopefully whoever slides into that spot has as much love and affinity for women's basketball as Kevin Warren had. It takes a product, right, that everybody gets interested in. And I said this last week, maybe not every year, but this year I find it hard to believe that there's a better conference in the country than the Big Ten right now.
Matt Seaver.
There early in the game, Ohio State looked like they were really trying to push the pace and kind of keep you guys on your heels. How were you guys able to slow the game down and kind of keep it at your pace?
Well, we want to run also. I just think it's a matter of us being really good in our transition defense where, we were. You got to slow the ball down first, and then you got to get to Mike Cassell as quickly as you can. It's stuff that we do every day in terms of, break down our transition, understanding that every team in America wants to run, right? It's just, understanding what the pace is and what's required the next trip down the floor. So if you're going to shoot quick shots and you're going to come up empty, once, twice, then that third possession better be something where it's going to be slowed down, and it's just understanding, the flow of the game, really. Part of that is calling it on the sideline, but the other part of that is having a kid like Grace Berger that understands that.
Terry, you alluded to it. Every coach, plays game to game. Every coach says that. Every coach also with a great team also doesn't want to put a brake on the ambition of what a team can achieve. Mm-hmm. What do you see in the players that has made them accept that kind of balancing act, which is tough for even great teams to achieve? What's within them that's kind of made it, to the point where, against the number 2 team in the country, you're achieving that balance?
That's a great question. I'd have to say it's probably just their maturity, Todd. I mean, this is a very mature group. When it comes to game planning, when it comes to being between the lines, they are uber competitive. And as I talk about our prep all the time, I have the best staff in the country when it comes to preparation. The other part of that is the skill development piece, where these kids are coming in and they're doing extra, always, before practice, after practice. There's a real commitment there to being better. And for us, it's like if you want more, you got to care more, right? And this is what we see every day with our group. This is a team that really cares, and they care about winning, and they care about how they're going to win. They don't care who gets the credit. They understand that we have a balanced team. And as Yarden alluded to, we got the confidence in any of those kids to have a big night, right? And I think they have confidence within each other that they, there's a trust, there's an accountability piece there, that they have. I mean, this has been, and I've had a lot of really, really, really good teams, in my 9 years that I've been here. But I don't know that I've had a more mature team and a team when it's time, it's go time. they answer the bell. And whether they get down early, you see us climb back, they don't panic, they don't blink. It's like, let's fix it, and let's figure out how we can get in the driver's seat, and then how we can keep our foot on the pedal and close this thing out. And I think that's they're kind of methodical in that way of thinking. This is what we have to do. These are adjustments we have to make. We're willing to make them, and this is how we're going to win the game.
Talia, last question.
Hey, Coach. Lily Meister came in a few times tonight, and she had some good minutes.
Yeah.
What have you liked from her?
I've loved everything about her. You know, from what she did at Illinois to you know, what she did the other night at Michigan when Matt got into foul trouble. And then tonight, you know, again, she knows her role, and she stars in her role. And by that I mean she realizes that she does not have to score a basket to impact this game. What she has to do is guard well on the low block. She needs to be in rotations, and she needs to rebound. And she needs to play hard every possession for however long she's in. And you'll see her on the sideline. She may be in for 30 seconds. She may be in for 2 minutes. But, you know, her energy is still the same. She's going to run to the scores table. She's going to run off, and she's going to do whatever we ask her to do. And so it's been great to watch her not just impact the game and do some really good things, but it's been really cool to watch her confidence grow as well. Because she's playing meaningful minutes for us. And I think she knows when her number's called, like, it's not just to spell MAC, it's to do a job. And, you know, she's been doing that for us.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.